Hello, hello. This is Lisa Nickel, host of the Sacred and Rooted podcast. Thanks for joining me. I'm glad you're here. This is a morning magic episode, so it is a bit shorter, but packed full of some inspiration and good stuff. So the quote that I'm centering this episode around is from Alexander Den Heijer. I'm not sure if I'm butchering his last name. But he's apparently the author of Things You Already Knew, which actually sounds like a very good book, so I might actually look that up after. And his quote goes like this: "You often feel tired, not because you've done too much, but because you've done too little of what sparks light in you." You often feel tired, not because you've done too much, but because you've done too little of what sparks light in you. And this one really rung true. Well, it rings true all, off and on, here and there, everywhere. But on days where I do find I'm most exhausted, there's a lot of things that I'm doing in the day that, it's probably actually a day fully packed with things that, if it was my last day on earth, I probably wouldn't be doing, to put it lightly or bluntly. And so every time I kind of get in that feeling, I think of this quote and think of, how can I make my life work better? I think I did an early episode on this podcast along those lines, where I think it was called the number one question you can ask yourself to change your life, something like that. But it's how can I make this work better? Like, stuff is not working out if I'm really, really, really just totally wasted on the couch at the end of the day, or just can't wait. I start daydreaming about going to bed early, and won't it be so great to just crawl into the sheets and close my eyes. So, and I know, I'm, like a lot of women, we have a lot of things on the go, a lot of things that people are relying on us to do. And so there's a lot of things to do every day. And I think the key here is just like a reminder to take a little bit of your day for yourself. It is your life, and you don't want to get to the end of it and think wow, I really didn't give myself much time to do what I really wanted. So if you bite it into a little bite-sized, a day at a time, how do you start your day? Could you put something in the beginning of your day that's just for you? Maybe after work, there's a transition where you can just have a little me time before picking up the kids, or before getting into your evening, going home, making dinner, and whatever the evening routine is. Or right before bed, where there's, some quiet time to do something for yourself, whether it's literally decompressing and just, reading a book or listening to some music. The other thing actually that I found that I've been playing with a lot recently is adding things that I like into the day, because a lot of times I find, for myself at least, it's like I'm almost in the background and I'm making stuff happen, but everyone else is just doing the actual thing, or enjoying the actual activity, or whatever it is. And so, to bring music, if I'm feeling like listening to music, maybe I'll put some music on and everyone can listen to music, and we can just have some silly time and have some fun, or start taking turns picking songs we like and all that. And it just adds to the experience of, say, something kind of mundane, like driving the kids home from school, or driving them to school. And I have teenagers all at this point, and so they like music a lot. So it's very interesting to hear what, they might be listening to, and then compare it to what I think, what I'm listening to, and, have little chats about that. So this episode is here to just purely remind you to take some time out of your day, whatever day you're listening to this on, and make yourself a priority. Sit by the river at lunch, light some candles while you're making dinner, and make it sort of like something a little more sacred than just like, here we go again, what are we having for dinner? And then also bigger things, like not just that you should make, like the mundane stuff more fun, which of course would be great, as well, but also, what are your hopes and dreams, and are you breathing air into them every so often so that they can actually see the light of day at some point? And how does that look for you? Do you need to do that every day? Could it be once a week? Could it be every couple days? Whatever the rhythm is, it's not so important. It's not as important as like that literally it gets some airtime, and that you're prioritizing yourself. The other thing for me is exercise. So I've started a new kind of lifestyle, I'll call it, because I don't think dieting has ever worked for me for any length of time, obviously. So it's just becoming a lifestyle, which is slower for sure as far as like building muscle and losing weight, but I think it's way more durable or like sustaining, because it's not like I feel like anything's actually like missing, or I'm like restricting myself in a severe way. So it's working so far. But so that kind of thing where it's like, okay, obviously I'm a meditation teacher and kind of a coach, like a life coach. So it's very mind orientated stuff. And so my like growth edge is body. And so it's, how can I eat better? How can I exercise? I need to make sure my body's moving so that because it actually impacts my mind a great deal. And so it's all tied together, obviously. But to just really notice for yourself where, maybe you're really good at some avenues in your life and other avenues kind of get like, they're the back alleys. They don't get really a lot of light or attention. And so to just notice for yourself, what is the best thing for you, and make sure you're doing some of it. So, some of the days where I'm like totally beat, I get up, I'm tired from the day before, I didn't go to bed early like I was thinking I would. You get up, you get showered, you eat breakfast, you like just do like the things. And then the kids get out the door and you're driving them to school, then straight to work, and work is very demanding, as far as just really needing other people needing your time and attention. So the whole day can go by in what feels like 5 minutes, and then, back to picking up the kids, driving them around for a few hours in the evening, or organizing who's driving who and where and when, and that kind of thing. And so it can feel like the day is very just sort of like business, it's all business kind of day. And so to make sure that some of the light, like the sparkle in your eye, like what brings that sparkle to your eye, make sure that is happening. I spent the last couple of weekends gardening quite a bit. And it's so nice to wake up in the morning and be like, oh, I'm going to go in the garden and I'm going to, plant some new plants. I'm going to make sure the existing gardens are like all tucked in and real nice, weeded and all that. And it's just like a real nice way to spend some time. And so to actually, what would you need to do in your day to make yourself, when you get up, not be like, oh, I could use some more sleep, or oh man, yeah, I have that meeting today or that thing due. To just be like, yes, I'm alive. I'm gonna get to whatever later. I've got some time packed away for myself to do something that your heart desires. And yeah, in the middle of a bunch of other things, but you're making some pockets of time for yourself. And so then that's something to look forward to, if nothing else. So that is this episode. If you often feel tired, it's not because you're doing too much. And maybe it is because you're doing too much. Like, that's not a total truth. But it is always true that you're doing too much of stuff that just doesn't light you up. Like, you're just dragging your butt to just get some stuff done, and it's not inspiring you at all. And so it needs to be offset with some sparkle and some, like, to light, like to be inspired to do whatever or to not do anything. And to figure that out with your life. Can you get rid of some of the stuff that is uninspiring? Maybe you can share it with some more people in your life. Maybe you can, download it to someone else. Maybe you can literally hire somebody to do it. Whatever works, because everyone's life is their own creation. And so just to even start to consider, what would it look like if I did more of the stuff that sparked joy in me, and how can I make that work and be committed to that, so that, because it's not like a one and done, it's like a constant recheck and realignment, and so that is life. But as long as you're aware of it, when you do start noticing, like, whoa, that week just beat me right down, then you can, start going back and thinking, okay, I can fit some more of this in, I can fit some more of that in, maybe so-and-so can do that, and I'll, whatever it is. But get creative, and also be committed to yourself, and know, when you're not showing up as your best, how you can fit some more of the things in your life that actually endorse you showing up as your best in whatever scenario you have today. All right, so I wish you a wonderful day, a beautiful day, one that sparks some light in you, and I will see you next time. Oh, and if you've been enjoying this podcast, please, leave a review, leave a 5-star thing on whatever podcast listener you listen on. It helps spread the word. Share it with a friend. Just some way to kind of like reach a broader audience, and kind of like weave our web a little further out into the ethers would be super appreciated. And I will see you next time. Take care.